Welcome back, everyone, to the Questing Bard. I'm Angel Lantano, and those of you who are new, welcome. So, I got some news, kind of good and bad. Not extremely good, trust me, I would have let you guys know off the bat. And this is good news. Well, bad news, first of all, is I did get another form rejection from Spelling Bee. But there is some weirdly good news about it. And you're like, wait, how can there be good news from a rejection? Well, as I told you guys, there is good news from rejections. Form rejection is better than the black hole rejection, like I mentioned before. So I got a form rejection from Spelling Bee. And Spelling Bee was actually quite interesting. So she was my 5th person I queried. And so it's been like around 4 weeks or so that's a pretty long time. So it's a good standard for someone to actually consider your project. Versus like off the bat, they didn't take too much time to really consider it. Like they didn't read the pages or anything like that. Nothing special. But hers was a very interesting letter. So she did say that she found the pages interesting, and then at the end she did say something along the lines of, send me your next manuscript query. So what does that mean? And you're like, that's probably just being polite, right? Like most people think that. And I think that too, like, because with job rejections, it's pretty much just, it's just a computer being polite and don't read too much into it. And that's kind of the vibe I was getting with this one. And I wasn't sure because I'm like, it's been 4 weeks. Like, it's been a while now. It's been some time since I've heard from her or any of the earlier ones. Like, so it's like, I think she might be genuine. And I did kind of quickly look it up. I'm like, is this thing? It's like, so there is a politeness to it, but it's actually saying that you have talent, you have skill, which is really nice to hear. It's the hope I wanted to hear from anyone, actually. Let me see. Sorry, camera Simpson. Okay, yeah. And yeah, so that's kind of what I've been hoping for. And honestly, I've been having this nasty habit of doubting myself all the time. So having this little shred of hope is very encouraging and very warming to me. That means it's just I feel renewed in hope and confidence in who I am and me as a writer, and I realized that earlier Cinnamon had also done the same thing. I was too caught up in my own misery to not realize that he actually was doing the same thing to me, was saying that you have a very interesting style and voice, there's a lot of potential here, it's just not my vibe, and it's subjective. So it was more of a subjective thing, but they're open to me querying again. If I have a new story, they're open for me to query to them. So the door is open. Which is a very good thing. It's actually a really good sign to see a form rejection like that. I wish it was a bit more personal. That would have made it a bit more warming, but this is as warm as I'm getting so far. So that's a really good sign. Alright, so I'm going to tell you guys about any other ones I've done recently, so give me a moment. Okay. Actually, I did not need to give you guys a moment because I already had it open. She, ironically enough, did send it today. Well, not ironically, but strangely enough. Yeah, so Spelling Bee did send hers today. The rejection today. Usually you don't get anything on the weekends, but sometimes you never know. Okay, so for Rare Rocher, so her 6 weeks is coming to an end tomorrow. So I'm gonna wait till the end, of tomorrow, and then on Tuesday I will officially mark her as a black hole rejection. There's still a chance for black holes to become an accepted one, but that's a slim chance. So what I'm going to do is just keep the date I sent it, and then I'm just going to put in brackets, the parentheses, that it's a black hole rejection. And I do color code everything in here, like form rejections are just red because it's just a solid rejection. There's no ifs, no buts, no coconut kind of thing. It is what it is. So I'm gonna, for the black holes, I'm gonna make it purple because I feel like it's very spacey, and then there's all this mystery, it's unknown. So I feel like that's a good color to keep the. It's actually good to keep a list and to keep a track of who's doing what with you and where everything is, because you know people send to hundreds of agents their manuscripts and stuff, their queries and all that. So it's easy to lose track, and it's especially good. Like I keep track of agencies, which is very helpful because I find like 2 potential agents to query, but then it's like. But one of them I've already queried, and I didn't realize it, and then it's like, or I do realize it because I do find them familiar, but then it's like there's a second person, but then it's like they work for the same company, which is not good. So that can become a problem. So I have to hold off on certain people, certain agents to query with querying because I've already queried to them. So there was another one I did, so Fox Literary, there's another one I found. So I'm going to wait for a little longer before I do her. I will discuss who she is in a second. Okay, so who did I query this week? I think I only managed 1 or 2 this week. So the 2 I did this week is... Oh, okay. Well, no, one of them I did not give a nickname. Let me see if I can give her a nickname here. So I actually queried Sackville Baggins. She's not into Lord of the Rings, I know, sorry. I know, it's like, what? I know. It's definitely a character from Lord of the Rings, but I have a reason for the nickname, trust me. If she accepts it and she's okay with me giving her name, then I will give it. And I'll explain. So about her, the reason I'm querying her, so she's unique because she's like an assistant versus, just like a standard today. So it's like, I know that's like a red flag, like do not query assistants, but she was mentioned in the manuscript wish list website. And I did check, she said, yeah, please send queries, and she uses the agent she works with, like his email to do it. So I don't know if she's like learning her trade and trying to like start really kind of like an apprentice kind of way and doing her own a little bit. So I'm not sure, so I'm like, I did see some red flags, but I'm like, it's like I'm also seeing yellow flags too, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, I can give it a try and see where it goes. But she is definitely into high fantasy, which is definitely a big thumbs up. There's General Motors, so yeah, this is the best I can come up with on the spot. So General Motors is, so her potentials, so I queried her as well, and she's a big candidate, a really big one, because she likes Lion King, and my story is inspired by Lion King. It's partially inspired, it's not like the whole thing is inspired. So that's a huge plus for her, and I think that's a big one. So I don't usually don't use that with people, but if they particularly mention that it's one of their favorites or something like that, then I would definitely bring it up because that's a huge plus. Okay, so then there's Lady Coffee. Okay, so Lady Coffee was a bit of a complication. So I have to wait 5 weeks because again, this happened. This has happened before with another person, another agent. I already queried to somebody in the same company. Foxy Lady, if you guys remember, I mentioned her a while back. So that's the problem. So I was actually almost done. I was almost ready to submit. Thank goodness I didn't, and I realized the error. I probably made that huge mistake. So I'm gonna have to wait for 5 weeks and to make sure, because Foxy Lady still has 5. So and after 5 weeks, then I will query Lady Coffee. Okay. And I didn't mention, I also queried Arabian Night. He's a last time. So he, I don't know, he's interested in fantasy. He's interested in standalones and series with unique and compelling characters and stuff like that. So there's some potential. There's some good potential there. And that's pretty much it for our queries. Alright, so we're going to move on. A lot of these authors, a lot of these agents are very much interested in one thing that is kind of bugging me and then I don't enjoy is the romantasy. So it is a new genre that's very hot right now. And it's like very much trending. Romantasy is a combination of romance and fantasy. It's the two genres. It's genre blending or bending, as they say, which is popular to do. But I'm not a big fan of romance. I'm a huge to me. I know you guys are just like, yeah, I know, like part of mine is romance, but it's not heavy-handed. It's not the main central thing. I do if I did the prequel to my story, it would probably be a romantasy. But honestly, mine is not romantasy. That is the thing. So, but the point is to always write what you want to write. That's actually the thing. You should write what's the story you want to tell. So, because you never know. By the time you write and you query, you never know. And sometimes you can become the new trendsetter. You can be the one who completely makes another turn and moves the whole genre into another direction, or what's trending into another direction. Fantasy, I think, will always be popular in general. I think so. For me, that's a huge thumbs up for me. Is mine genre bending and blending? It kind of is. It's actually like a high fantasy family drama, so it's kind of like blending YA and adult fiction fantasy into one. So that's kind of what mine is. And I'm not sure if anyone's getting that, so it's kind of something new. I don't know if it's fully new. I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out if it is, but so far from what I've read, I'm not really feeling that. Everything I've read so far, I've not gotten that vibe. Everyone is still very much interested in romantasies, like Fourth Wing and Court of Thorn and Roses and stuff like that. Discovery Witches. I watched it. I watched that show. It was not a bad show. It was intriguing. It was definitely very intriguing. But yeah, I'm just romance. I don't know. I just never felt like romance did a good job all the time. I don't know. I just feel like there's too many tropes and too much I feel it's always a bit unrealistic at times. I don't know, I just never got into those stories. Yeah, so personally, I'm not writing those, but it's important. But it's important to know what's in the market. I know before then it was kind of like all the game stuff, like Hunger Games and things like that. Like it was the game and this apocalyptic thing, so it was such a huge trend. I think there's been a few books that did that, kind of like and like apocalyptic and like everyone into sections and divisions and stuff like that. It's a very unique idea and concept. But you never know. And yeah, so the trend can change at any moment. You don't know what will be trending and what will be popular at any given state, and that's the important thing, is to know. Yeah, so it is important. It is very important to know what is trending, but that doesn't mean you should follow it. If that's not the story you want to tell, then don't tell. If you're not passionate about it. Like for me, Romantasy is not something I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about it, and it's just like, yeah. I like fantasy. I just don't like. I don't want romance being so integral to it. So therefore I'm not writing that. I just don't care to write it, and I know it's not the popular trend. But that doesn't mean I'm not offering something unique and different in its own right. You should definitely try to do that in your own unique way of trying to do that. That's what I'm going for. At least I'm trying to. So we'll see. Maybe I'm gonna get an agent soon, hopefully, that will actually like this idea of a family fantasy versus romantasy. So it's kind of fantasy, but it's not going to romance. It's shifting to family and the idea and value of family. And fantasy actually does tend to do this quite well, but this is a new thing where like young adults and adults can enjoy this kind of story. So that's where it's blending mostly. It's blending YA fantasy with adult fantasy. It's between. It's something because I honestly I've read a few of the books out there in YA currently, and honestly, the recent one I read was Caraval, and I definitely saw the Hunger Games vibe in it. And I did like that it was about focus on sisters, and I did enjoy that aspect. But oh my god, I really it was so boring, and maybe because I'm just not of the age, but I honestly, if I saw myself as a teenager going, I'm like, I would have been so bored. I would have hated. I'm like, I do not like this book. I do not like it. It's boring. Like there were some interesting points, but it was just again because there was this whole romance thing. I was like, oh my god. Like I have nothing against romance, to be honest. Okay, I do, but I feel like it has to be done well, and I never feel like it's done well. Discovery was okay. It wasn't actually bad. The romance, I think they were very independent. They were very, the couple, Diana Bishop and Matthew de Clermont, I think the story was very, well done in terms of, the romance was not, pining over each other and completely 100% dependent, but I hate the obsession they have with each other to the point, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, there was aspects of it which I felt was just very tropey, but for the most part it was not that bad. I actually enjoyed it. Anakin and Padme's relationship in Star Wars was pretty, it's actually my favorite, and I think because there was so much that it would affect their relationship, and it was a very unique story. It was because, it was like Romeo and Juliet, the star-crossed lover. But how it was displayed between 1 and 2, episodes 1 and 2, was quite interesting and intriguing. And then of course through Clone Wars it was hilarious and funny, and you just really got to see that. And there's no pining, there's none of that, and which was so nice. But then Revenge of the Sith, I feel like just kind of went into those classic tropes, and I just felt like, ugh. Yeah, so that kind of disappointed me. But apart from that, it was okay, not bad. Han and Leia, I think that was very sweet, and I feel like it was very real. And I think that's kind of what I want. I want it to feel real. I want it to feel realistic and feel warm, and you can just hug it and be okay with it. So that's that for me on that end. Okay, so that's that for this episode of Questing Bard at this video. Yeah, sorry, I don't have much to give you guys this week. But the idea of trends and what's trending has been kind of on my head recently. And I thought if I can bring that up a little bit, especially with romance and fantasy and, what came and just to help you guys, that's kind of the point. Okay, sorry about that, it got a little fuzzy there. But that's kind of the point. My job is to also help you guys. My journey into cornering and becoming a published author is to help you guys know the experience and really feel it firsthand. Like, hey, look at this person that is also struggling and going through the similar thing. So you guys feel less alone, and that's my point and my purpose. And then it's also to give you guys some feedback, some tips and advice from me. I'm not like a professional who can give you guys that because I'm not published. I don't have that success yet to really feel validated in giving you guys. But I'm just giving you guys what I know, what I've learned. That's all I can give you guys is through my own experiences and what I've learned from others. Okay, so that's all for now. I'll see you guys next week. And I think it's been another anniversary of this channel. I know I lose track of the anniversary because I haven't been posting very much in the past many years. But we will definitely do something nice next year if I'm keeping up with this. And anything else? Yeah. Oh yeah, the Saturday is my birthday, so hopefully I can get if I get an accepted query letter this week, that would definitely be a huge birthday present. So any agents who are watching, please consider it. Alright. That's all for now. I'll see you all next week. Like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more future videos like this. See ya.